The Pentagon investigator's voice was ice-cold when she called Stephen Morrison at 9:15 Monday morning. "Sir, your company's security authorization has been suspended. 12 seconds effective immediately." I was sitting in my kitchen, drinking coffee, 17 seconds, watching my former CEO's world collapse through a phone call I'd been expecting for 96 hours. 23 seconds. My name is Richard Palmer. I'm 54 years old, and I just accidentally destroyed a $180 million defense contracting company without lifting a finger. 33 seconds. Let me back up to Thursday afternoon and tell you how this all started. I'm sitting in Apex Security Systems' main conference room in Austin. 41 seconds, watching Stephen Morrison deliver the news that would end my 19-year career. 45 seconds. Stephen's 35 years old, MBA from Northwestern, and the kind of CEO who inherited Daddy's company 5 years ago and has been modernizing everything since. 54 seconds. You're being restructured out, he said, sliding a manila folder across the mahogany table like he was returning a library book. 1 minute, 2 seconds. He didn't even look up from his tablet while he upended my professional life. The conference room smelled like fresh carpet and corporate ambition. Stephen sat there in his navy blazer, hair perfectly styled for the board meeting where he'd probably announce my departure as optimizing human capital. 1 minute, 19 seconds. Next to him, Rebecca Hayes from HR looked like she'd rather be anywhere else on Earth. "I'm sorry, what exactly does that mean?" I asked. 1:29. 1 minute, 29 seconds. Not because I didn't understand, but because my brain needed a moment to process the word restructured as a verb. 1:35. 1 minute, 35 seconds. "Nothing personal, Richard," Stephen said, finally looking up with one of those practiced smiles they teach in management seminars. 1:42. 1 minute, 42 seconds. "We're streamlining operations, moving toward a more agile framework. Traditional cybersecurity compliance roles are becoming obsolete." 1:50. 1 minute, 50 seconds. Obsolete. I let that word settle while I looked around the room. Rebecca avoided my eyes. Brian Mitchell from finance suddenly found something fascinating on his phone. 1:59. 1 minute, 59 seconds. These were people I'd worked with for years, whose systems I'd protected, whose mistakes I'd quietly fixed, whose jobs I'd saved more times than they knew. 2:08. 2 minutes, 8 seconds. "Everything's automated now," Stephen continued, making air quotes. "We need people who understand disruption, not documentation." 2:16. 2 minutes, 16 seconds. Here's what Stephen didn't understand about obsolete cybersecurity. "Guys like me, we don't just manage compliance paperwork, we become the paperwork." 2:25. 2 minutes, 25 seconds. My name wasn't just on the organizational chart. It was embedded in every security protocol, every vendor agreement. 2:32. 2 minutes, 32 seconds. Every federal certification that kept Apex's $180 million in Pentagon contracts valid. I was the named technical contact for our CMMC Level 3 authorization. 2:42. 2 minutes, 42 seconds. The primary signatory on our FedRAMP certification, the designated security officer for our top secret facility clearance. 2:49. 2 minutes, 49 seconds, all of it, tied to my personal security credentials, my biometric access. 2:53. 2 minutes, 53 seconds. My digital signatures that I'd earned through 6 years in the Air Force and 19 years protecting classified systems. 2:59. 2 minutes, 59 seconds. Back in the service, I learned that security isn't about disruption, it's about foundation. You build it right, maintain it properly, and it protects everything above it. 3:08. 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Remove the foundation, and the whole structure comes down. 3:11. 3 minutes, 11 seconds. Stephen was about to learn that lesson the hard way. There were rules about removing people like me. 3:17. 3 minutes, 17 seconds. Boring, bureaucratic, absolutely critical rules that I'd helped write after the 2019 security incident that nearly cost us everything. 3:24, 3 minutes, 24 seconds. That incident started small, like they always do. A subcontractor's employee installed unauthorized software on a classified system during a routine maintenance check. 3:33, 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Sounds minor, right? That minor breach triggered a Department of Defense investigation that shut down our entire operation for 3 months. 3:40, 3 minutes, 40 seconds. The Pentagon was ready to pull our contracts worth $160 million. At the time, 3:45, 3 minutes, 45 seconds. I spent those 3 months working 16-hour days, rebuilding our entire compliance framework from scratch. 3:51, 3 minutes, 51 seconds. New protocols, new oversight procedures, new safeguards that would prevent any single mistake from bringing down the whole operation. 3:58, 3 minutes, 58 seconds. The investigators called our new security architecture a model for the industry. Part of that architecture was Administrative Continuity Protocol. 4:07, 4 minutes, 7 seconds. Any change to key security. Personnel had to go through formal transition. The named technical contact couldn't just disappear. 4:14, 4 minutes, 14 seconds. There had to be paperwork, background checks, training periods, official handovers. 4:18, 4 minutes, 18 seconds. The whole process typically took 6 to 8 weeks for someone with my level of clearance. Stephen had given me 30 minutes. 4:25, 4 minutes, 25 seconds. Your exit package is all there, Stephen said, sliding the folder closer. 4:30, 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Severance, Cobra information, and a draft LinkedIn post announcing your departure to pursue new opportunities. I didn't touch the folder. 4:39. 4 minutes, 39 seconds instead. I stood up slowly and looked at each person in that room. 4:43. 4 minutes, 43 seconds. These people had no idea what they'd just done. They thought they were cutting overhead. What they'd actually done was remove the keystone from an arch. 4:53. 4 minutes, 43 seconds. No hard feelings, right, Richard? Stephen asked. None at all, I said. 4:58. 4 minutes, 58 seconds. And I meant it, but not in the way he thought. I walked back to my office and sat down at my computer one last time. 5:05, 5 minutes, 5 seconds. The admin portal opened with my credentials, same as it had every morning. For 19 years. 5:11, 5 minutes, 11 seconds. According to Apex's own security protocols, the ones I'd helped draft, departing personnel must have their access revoked within 4 hours of termination. 5:20, 5 minutes, 20 seconds. It was a good policy, a necessary policy, and I was going to follow it to the letter. I removed my credentials cleanly, systematically. Primary technical contact, 5:30, 5 minutes, 30 seconds, Richard Palmer. Status changed to inactive. Digital signature authority revoked. Biometric access disabled. Security clearance liaison unassigned. 5:39, 5 minutes, 39 seconds. Zero Trust Architecture Administrator removed. The system gave me a polite warning message. 5:44, 5 minutes, 44 seconds. Security protocols require assignment of new technical contact within 96 hours to maintain CMMC Level 3 certification. 5:52, 5 minutes, 52 seconds. Failure to assign may result in automatic suspension of federal authorization under NIST 801-71 compliance requirements. I left it. Blank. 6:02, 6 minutes, 2 seconds. According to the manual I'd helped write, only authorized personnel could assign security contacts, and as of 4:17 p.m. 6:10, 6 minutes, 10 seconds. On Thursday afternoon, I was no longer authorized personnel. Then I opened my email and composed a message to Timothy Sullivan, 6:19. 6 minutes, 19 seconds. Our compliance liaison at the Pentagon Defense Acquisition Office. Tim, effective today. I am no longer employed at Apex Security Systems. 6:27, 6 minutes, 27 seconds. Please update your contact records accordingly. My access credentials have been revoked per standard protocol. 6:34, 6 minutes, 34 seconds. Best regards, Richard Palmer. Professional, clean, By the book. I clicked send and watched 19 years of access privileges disappear. 6:43, 6 minutes, 43 seconds. Then I packed my coffee mug, the one Michelle got me that said, "World's most patient husband," into a cardboard box and walked out. Nobody said goodbye. 6:51, 6 minutes, 51 seconds. Brian Mitchell walked past while I was cleaning out my desk. 6:55. 6 minutes, 55 seconds saw me, but suddenly found something urgent on his phone. Jennifer Collins did the same thing. That's how it works. You become invisible the moment you're not useful anymore. 7:05. 7 minutes, 5 seconds. The thing about being a cybersecurity compliance director is that nobody really understands what you do until it stops working. 7:11. 7 minutes, 11 seconds. It's like being the guy who maintains the foundation of a building. 7:15. 7 minutes, 15 seconds. Everything looks fine until the walls start cracking. I'd spent 19 years being that foundation. Every security audit, every compliance review, every panicked 3A725, 7 minutes, 25 seconds, phone call, when some contractor uploaded sensitive data to the wrong server, the invisible work that kept Apex's reputation intact and their contracts flowing. 7:34, 7 minutes, 34 seconds. Stephen thought he could delete me like outdated software. What he didn't realize was that I hadn't just managed the security protocols. 7:41, 7 minutes, 41 seconds I had become them. And now, 96 hours later, the system was doing exactly what I designed it to do when someone removed the foundation without proper procedure. 7:52, 7 minutes, 52 seconds. The countdown had started. Thursday at 4:17 p.m. now. It was Monday at 6:47 a.m., and time was up. 8 minutes. I drove home Thursday evening in my 2019 F-150, listening to talk radio and thinking about how I was going to explain this to Michelle. 8:08. 8 minutes, 8 seconds. 19 years at the same company, and suddenly I was obsolete. 8:12, 8 minutes, 12 seconds. Stephen probably couldn't tell the difference between FISMA and FERPA if his life depended on it, but he was modernizing the operation. 8:20, 8 minutes, 20 seconds. Michelle was grading papers at the kitchen table when I walked in. She teaches high school chemistry at the school down the road. Same job for 16 years. 8:28, 8 minutes, 28 seconds. Real job security, unlike the corporate world where experience makes you a target for cost cutting. You're home early, she said, looking up from his stack of test papers. 8:38, 8 minutes, 38 seconds. Got fired today, I said, setting my cardboard box down by the door. She put down her red pen and really looked at me. What happened? 8:46, 8 minutes, 46 seconds. New CEO wants to modernize. 8:48, 8 minutes, 48 seconds. Apparently, I'm too old-fashioned for the digital age. Michelle stood up and hugged me. 8:53, 8 minutes, 53 seconds. No dramatic speeches, no anger. Just that steady support that comes from 28 years of marriage. We'll figure it out, she said. 9:01. 9 minutes, 1 second. Anthony's doing well in college, and we've got savings. That's my wife, always practical, always looking ahead. 9:08. 9 minutes, 8 seconds. One of the reasons I fell in love with her back when we were young and thought the world made sense. Anthony's our son, 20 years old, studying computer science at UT. Imbre, 9 minutes, 17 seconds. Kid's got a good head on his shoulders, unlike some people I could mention. But here's what Michelle didn't know, what Stephen didn't know. 9:25. 9 minutes, 25 seconds. What nobody at Apex seemed to understand. 9:27. 9 minutes, 27 seconds. Removing me from the system without proper protocol wasn't just a personnel decision. 9:32. 9 minutes, 32 seconds. It was a compliance violation that would trigger automatic reviews at multiple levels of government oversight. The administrative continuity protocol wasn't just company policy. 9:42, 9 minutes, 42 seconds. It was part of our federal security authorization, Break the protocol, lose the authorization. 9:47, 9 minutes, 47 seconds, lose the authorization, lose the contracts. I'd built those safeguards specifically to prevent what Stephen had just done. The irony was perfect. 9:54. 9 minutes, 54 seconds, he'd fired me for being obsolete, and in doing so, he'd violated the very systems I'd created to protect the company. Friday morning came with coffee and the newspaper. 10:03, 10 minutes, 3 seconds instead of reviewing overnight security alerts, I was looking at job ads for the first time in 19 years. The job market for 54-year-old cybersecurity directors wasn't exactly booming. 10:14, 10 minutes, 14 seconds. But I had good references and a security clearance that took years to obtain. Around 10 a.m., my phone started. Ringing, first call was from Brian Mitchell. 10:23, 10 minutes, 23 seconds. Richard, hey, sorry to bother you. We're having some issues with the Pentagon reporting system. 10:29, 10 minutes, 29 seconds. The quarterly compliance report won't generate, and there's some kind of authentication error. 10:34, 10 minutes, 34 seconds. Do you know what might be causing that? Sorry, Brian. I'm not authorized to troubleshoot Apex systems anymore. 10:41, 10 minutes, 41 seconds. You should contact Stephen about getting proper its support. But you built this system. 10:46, 10 minutes, 46 seconds. Can't you just tell us what's wrong? I can't access systems I don't have clearance for anymore. That would be a violation of the same protocols Stephen says are obsolete. 10:56, 10 minutes, 56 seconds. Second call came from Rebecca Hayes. 10:59, 10 minutes, 59 seconds. Richard, I know this is awkward, but we're getting calls from government offices asking about security contact information. 11:05, 11 minutes, 5 seconds. They want to verify our compliance status for some kind of review. Sounds like standard procedure, Rebecca. 11:11. 11 minutes, 11 seconds. You'll need to have your current security team handle those inquiries. What current security team? Stephen restructured the entire department. There it was. 11:19. 11 minutes, 19 seconds. The moment Rebecca realized what Stephen had actually done. He hadn't. Just fired one obsolete employee. 11:25, 11 minutes, 25 seconds. He'd eliminated the entire infrastructure that kept their $180 million in contracts valid. 11:31, 11 minutes, 31 seconds. What I didn't tell her was that Apex didn't have anyone left who understood the systems I'd built. 11:36, 11 minutes, 36 seconds. Stephen had probably figured they could outsource cybersecurity to some consulting firm for half the cost. 11:42, 11 minutes, 42 seconds. Good luck getting a consultant through the 6-month background check process required for top secret clearance. 11:48, 11 minutes, 48 seconds. Third call was from Timothy Sullivan at the Pentagon Defense Acquisition Office. Mr. Palmer, we received your notification about your employment change. 11:57, 11 minutes, 57 seconds. We need to schedule a compliance review to verify Apex's continued security authorization. This was the call I'd been expecting. I'm no longer employed by Apex, Tim. 12:06, 12 minutes, 6 seconds you'll need to speak with their current management. I understand, 12:09, 12 minutes, 9 seconds, Richard, but according to our records, you were the primary technical contact for their security authorization. 12:15. 12 minutes, 15 seconds. We need documentation showing proper transfer of those responsibilities before we can approve continued access to classified systems. You'll have to take that up with Apex management. We tried. 12:24, 12 minutes, 24 seconds. Mr. Morrison said they've automated their security protocols and don't need a designated contact anymore. I almost laughed. 12:31, 12 minutes, 31 seconds. Stephen thought security clearances worked like software licenses. Pay the fee, download the access, forget about it until renewal time. 12:39, 12 minutes, 39 seconds. He had no idea that cybersecurity compliance was built on relationships, trust, and human expertise that couldn't be automated away. 12:47. 12 minutes, 47 seconds. Tim, I wish I could help, but I'm not authorized to represent Apex anymore. Understood. We'll be conducting our review starting Monday, 12:55, 12 minutes, 55 seconds. If Apex can't demonstrate proper security protocols and designated personnel, we'll have to suspend their authorization pending investigation. 13:03, 13 minutes, 3 seconds. Friday evening, Jennifer Collins texted me, "Richard, really sorry about yesterday.